Yes. Check in the last session, we have seen some important points we have discussed. First point we have seen as a database administrator, our job is maintenance, right? Database and database server maintenance is our job. Okay. Yes. As a DB, remember our job is what? Database and database maintenance is our job. That's why as part of database maintenance, so regularly what we'll do, like we'll monitor the servers, okay, as well as we'll troubleshoot the problems, okay. So monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular activity as a DBA, right, right. Okay. After that, here we have started with some brief introduction to SQL Server. We have seen introduction to SQL Server. Okay. Second, I think some people has not enabled audio. Just 1 minute. Okay. Yes. Okay. I think still Irfan has to enable audio. Okay. I think he has enabled. Right. Okay. Check here. This is just we have started with like what are the major activities of a DBA, and we have seen that regularly our job is what monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job as a DBA. Right, right. Yeah. Then here we have started with SQL Server. We have seen that SQL Server is one of a RDBMS product developed by Microsoft. So what we can do with SQL Server, we have seen with SQL Server, we can create and manage databases. Okay, so database creation and maintenance is our job. As a DB, remember, our job is database creation and maintenance. Basically, maintenance is our job. Creation is done by our developers team, actually. Okay. So in general, remember, whenever we build a new server, our developers team or application team will send us a database creation script. Okay, by using that script, just will create the database. Okay, or our application team will create the databases, okay, with the vendor. So already we know the database creation script is provided by who? by the vendor, okay, who is developing the software, right? Okay. As well as say like SQL Server supports, we have seen powerful BI features also, business intelligence features also with SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Okay. SQL Server integration services, SQL Server reporting services, SQL Server analysis services. Okay. Right. The same way, like we have summarized that we have different versions are there in SQL Server. Various versions are there, but right now our current version is 2019. 2022 also Microsoft is planning to release, but current versions here which we are working with in the organizations is what 2019. Okay, 2019 is our latest version. So, but remember, like 2019 is latest version, but actually in the organizations we have to work with different versions. Okay, still we have some clients are using still 2014 version. Okay, 2012, 16, 17, like this, different versions. Okay. Right. So many versions are there actually, but only features difference is there. Working environment, everything is same. Okay, 17, 2016, 2014, like this here. Means Microsoft has stopped support for 2012 actually. 2014 support is also going to stop in this year. Okay, so that's why today whenever we are creating one new server, whenever we are building one new server, we are going with 2019 today. Okay, so we'll ask our vendor to purchase what 2019 SQL Server. Okay, but in your organization tomorrow, once you enter in your organization, we have to work with different versions. Okay, including 14, 16, 17, like this here, different versions. Just check here from 2017 onwards, Microsoft has made now our SQL Server to work with any edition, any operating system, any OS. Okay, from SQL Server 2017 onwards, remember, we can install SQL Server in any OS. Okay, it may be Windows or Linux or Mac, any OS. Okay, right. But mostly remember tomorrow, once we enter in the organization, mostly we are working with 2016, in Windows OS only. Okay, most of our production servers are there in Windows only. Windows, 2016, Windows 2017, Windows OS only. Okay, right. Okay, check here like then to connect and work with SQL Server. See, server may be there in our laptop. Okay, SQL Server may be there somewhere in the network. In real time, remember, SQL Server is there somewhere in the network. Okay, so let's say you are supporting one client, CIBC, for example. CIBC is there, one bank in Canada, for example. Okay, you are sitting here in Hyderabad office or Chennai office, you are supporting this client, for example. Okay, So basically remember like means what, like in your laptop nothing is there, just we'll use SSMS SQL Server Management Studio. By using SSMS, remember, we'll connect to this server, okay, which is there somewhere in the network. Basically remember, to connect and work with SQL Server, okay, we are using this tool called SSMS SQL Server Management Studio. SSMS is what? SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, to connect and work with SQL Server, we are using SSMS tool, which is a free tool actually, SQL Server Management Studio. Right, right. Okay. Check here, like I will show you in your tomorrow's class how to install this SSMS. Check here, already I have installed in my laptop. Okay. Yeah, right. Check here, like we can select here server name. Okay, connected successfully. This is here already we have seen. This is my server name, frrit/test, for example. Means actually this is my laptop name, host name, /test is my server name. SQL Server 15.0 version means 2019 version. Okay, 15.0 means remember 2019 version. This is my login name. So here we have databases here, and we'll work with all these options as a DBA. Okay, security, replication, always on, automation, all these options. Check here, in SQL Server, we have two main services are there. One is SQL Server Services, which is our SQL engine. SQL engine, okay, which is processing the user queries. Whereas one more service is there, SQL Server Agent. This agent is for automation. Generally, remember, like in real time, most of the activities are means 90% activities are scheduled activities. Okay, means what? So we are not going to wake up exactly 3 o'clock. No need to take backup manually. Okay, all we have scheduled the backups. Okay, so depends on schedule, backups are working. For example, depends on the schedule, backups are working. Okay, suppose yesterday night backup fail. For example, yesterday night backup fail. Then we have to troubleshoot the problem why the backup was failed. Okay, maybe disk space issue may be there. Okay, so server may be busy, like various scenarios. Okay, here see we have jobs are there. We can create the jobs actually for automation purpose. Okay, why? Because tomorrow like 500 servers are there, 1000 servers are there. How we can take backup manually? Not possible, right? That's why compulsory we are going to schedule the activities. So by creating here jobs, we'll create the jobs like this. We'll schedule the activities. Okay, we'll show you later like how we are scheduling everything in module 6. Okay, right. Okay, these are SQL Server agent. Okay, These are our two main services of SQL Server. Right. So in the middle, please feel free. If any queries are there, any questions are there, please type in the chat panel. Okay. So chat option is there with us. Okay. So we can type here the chat option. If any questions are there, any doubts are there. Right. Right. Okay. Check here. That's remember, like already I have said. No, SSMS we can download in our laptop. Okay. In our laptop, in our machine, we can download. Through this, we can connect to the server. Means what? The server may be there in our laptop, in our local machine. Okay. So, or it may be there somewhere in the network. Okay. Server may be there either in the same machine or it may be there somewhere in the networks here. Okay. So means what? Like if the server is there same in our same laptop or same machine, then it is a local connection. If the server is there somewhere in the network, then it is a remote connection. Okay. Yes. Check here. For example, this is my laptop. Means company has provided me laptop, for example. Means what? It is our DBS machine, either laptop or our system DBS machine. In the DBS machine, remember, only I am installing SSMS. Okay, tool I am installing SSMS. Okay, right. That's why remember SQL Server we are not installing in our laptops. Okay, only tool is there. SSMS tool is there. Okay, now our servers are there somewhere in the networks here. Okay, so let's say my client is CIBC. Servers are there in Canada. Okay, in Canada we have servers are there. So this is one server for credit card department. This is one server for net banking. This is one server for ATM transactions. Okay, this is one server for like they said multiple servers. So through this SSMS remember what I can do, I can connect to these servers. Okay, I will start working here itself. If from here see I will start working with means what, through same SSMS tool we can connect to multiple servers, we can start working with. Clear, right? Yes. So that's why we have to understand here SSMS is our free tool through which we are connecting and working with SQL Server. Okay, through SSMS. Right, right. Just 1 second. One second. Yes. We font is small. Okay, right. Yeah, that's like yeah, how we are connecting and working with SQL Server by using what? SSMS, SQL Server Management. Okay, Basically, it is a free tool from Microsoft. Right. Okay. Then your next point, remember, important point. SQL Server supports two types of working environments. Very, very important points here. SQL Server supports two types of working environments. One is a standalone environment. Okay. Second one is a cluster environment. Okay. That's remember while installation itself, it will ask which type of installation you want. Standalone installation or cluster installation. Just remember standalone means remember we are maintaining a single production server. Single production server, one or more standby servers. Okay, single production server, one or more standby servers. Okay, yes. So means what? All the queries or all the requests are processed by this single server. Okay, so we can have one or more standby servers. Why? Because tomorrow if this production server is down unexpectedly due to any reason, we can make the applications to continue their work with which server? Standby servers. Okay, right. That is it. Like we can have one production server, one or more standby servers. But remember, like if the application is huge, okay, we have so many transactions per second. In that case, remember, we are going with the cluster environment. Cluster environment means what? Like cluster is nothing but remember a group of servers. Cluster is nothing but a group of servers here which are connected to each other, which are working as a single server in the network. Okay, basically remember cluster is what? A group of servers. Okay, yes. 1 second. I think it is audible, right, for everyone. Rafi, Parvez, Navina, are you able to hear me? Mithila, Manoj. Are you able to hear me, right? Everyone? Yes, thank you. Parvez? Yes. Okay. Then check here. Cluster is nothing but what? Group of servers connected to each other. And working with the virtual name. Virtual IP is there. Okay, virtual name and virtual IP. Okay, right. Okay, so that's remember like cluster is nothing but what? A group of servers which are connected to each other, which are working with a single name or virtual name. Okay, basically remember cluster is like our customer care department, right? Like 20 people are sitting, 30 people are sitting. Okay, so but we have common phone number 121, for example, right? Same thing here also we are creating a virtual name. Okay, through this virtual name connection is made actually through virtual name. Right. But see right now, I will show you this is how we can check whether it is a standalone or cluster environment. See here, after connecting to the server, right click on server properties. Here see is clustered false it is saying. means it is a standalone environment. Okay, it is not cluster environment, it is a standalone environment. Like this here, we can verify whether we are working in cluster or standalone. Right. Means what? Like in the background, remember how many servers are processing the queries? Single server is processing the queries. Its meaning is clustered false means what? Single server is processing the queries. Okay. Right. Right. Okay. Then see like understood, right? So is clustered false, it is saying, which is a standalone environment for us. Okay. Then, so by using the command also we can check, already we have seen, to work with the command we can take new query. Okay. So we can start working here. For example, select @ version. Means if want to see right now we are working with which version, always remember after typing the command, select the command and execute. Okay. Yes, check here. SQL Server 2019 2019 version 15.0 version it is saying. Okay, right. In the same way, if want to check any server properties, we can use here one predefined function called server property. In bracket, we can mention is clustered. See here. Okay, false it is saying. 0 means false it is saying. Means it is a standalone environment. It is not cluster environment. Actually, say like in my machine, I have built the cluster environment also with VMware. Okay, for practicing, remember, you can also create the cluster in your laptop. Okay, for practicing. Right. So we'll see that to build the cluster, we need some servers are required. A group of servers are required. One is domain controller. Okay. So one is node 1, node 2. Just remember like the servers which are there in the cluster, we are calling them as nodes. Node technically. Okay, node is nothing but one server. So like this, like group of servers I have created here in my laptop. Okay, so I already have built the cluster also. Means what? For SQL cluster, remember platform is Windows cluster. Okay, for SQL cluster, platform is Windows cluster. Okay, that's what we'll do before starting our SQL cluster installation. First, we'll create Windows cluster. Means our Windows team. Windows team will create what? Windows cluster. On top of Windows cluster, we'll deploy our SQL cluster. So I will share you the recording how to configure Windows cluster. Means how you can make this setup in your laptop. Basically, remember, Windows cluster creation is not our job. Okay, it is our Windows team job. But for practice purpose, I will share you the Windows clustering recordings. But we'll see how to configure SQL cluster everything in detail. Right. Check here, I can connect to any one of the machine. Okay. One second. Okay. Check here also SSMS is there. Taking time. Okay. Mm, yes. Okay. Check here. We can. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I have connected here. See to one of my server. Sorry. One second. Yeah. Check here like HYD Metro. Okay. HYD Metro / tickets. Basically, it is a cluster environment. If I right click here, see properties is clustered true. It is saying. Okay. It is a cluster environment. Like this here, we can build the cluster environment also here for practice purpose in our laptop. But already have said this cluster is built by our Windows team. On top of Windows cluster, we'll configure our SQL cluster. We can see actually how many nodes are there, everything. Okay, later I will show you. Right. So that is like two types of working environments are there in SQL Server, standalone and cluster environment. Okay. We have to work with both the environments today. Standalone and cluster environment we have to work with today. Okay. As a DBA. Right. Okay. Next here like next points here like we can next one here like SQL Server. SQL Server supports some high availability features. Okay, so second. Yes. Next one here like SQL Server supports here. One is SQL, already we have seen structured query language, which is a non-procedural language, plus T-SQL, transact structured query language, which is a programming language actually. Means we have seen to write the stored procedures, functions, triggers, or developers use this T-SQL. Okay, to write what stored procedures, functions, triggers, everything. Already we have seen we are not writing anything, so our developers team will write all this. Okay, programming stuff. Right. So only we know only we need some SQL basics are required for us to start working as a DBA. No need of programming skills for us. Okay, right. Next one, say like SQL Server supports some high availability features or disaster recovery features. See, basic purpose of this high availability features is what? To maintain the standby servers, standby databases. Okay. Why? Because one production server is there, unexpectedly server is down due to any reasons. Okay. So what about the business? Right? So, means suppose let's say Amazon.in is there, unexpectedly it is down for 10 minutes or half an hour. So, how much business loss is there? That's remember like client will never accept business loss scenarios. Okay, so that is the reason what we'll do. Compulsory we have to maintain say standby servers. Okay, so to maintain the standby servers, generally here we are going with these features, high availability features. See here, to maintain standby servers, one or more standby servers, means what? To minimize or to avoid business loss or downtime. Okay, business loss scenario or downtime. So unexpected downtime. Generally here we are going with these features, high availability features. Okay, right, right. The same way like SQL Server supports here different high availability features. We'll discuss later one by one. But remember to maintain same copy of database. Okay, in SQL Server we have some features like this here, log shipping to maintain as it is copy of database. Okay, log shipping, DB mirroring, database mirroring, and always on. Always on. Always on means database is on either in server 1 or server 2, database is on. That is the always on. For example, say let's say this is my production server, this is my standby server. Okay, yes. So in production server, for example, one database copy is there. This is our database, sales database. Same copy of database we are maintaining in what? Standby server. Okay, yes. So users are working or applications are connected to this server here, production server. But whatever the changes are made in this production copy, as it is, changes are applied toward standby server as it is copy. Okay, same copy we are maintaining here, see, in standby server as it is copy. Why? Because unexpectedly tomorrow this server is down, our database is down. Okay, so immediately we'll make this server up and running so that immediately users can redirect their connection to this server. Okay, later we can troubleshoot the problem, what is the reason why it is down. Okay, so that's why remember compulsory we have to maintain the standby servers actually. Okay, to minimize the downtime, to avoid the data loss scenario. So to maintain as it is copy of database in different server, in SQL Server we have these three options here: log shipping, mirroring, always on. Already we have discussed today, we are going with always on. Okay, so we are suggesting our clients that we'll go with what? Always on. Why? Because it is latest high availability feature. So, and it has very good features also. But just here we'll discuss these also in detail practically. So, but today, remember, tomorrow, once you enter in the organization, we are working with always on. Okay, we are not working with log shipping mirroring in 80% scenarios. Okay, very old configurations only we have this log shipping mirroring, but today we are preferring what always on. But as part of our course, we'll discuss all these three practically. Okay, just what are the major differences are there between these features? Just major differences we'll see here. In case of log shipping, logs are nothing but remember changes. Shipping means what? Transferring, right? Whatever the changes are made in primary database or production database, same changes we are transferring to which database? Standby database or secondary database. But remember here, in case of log shipping, remember there is no immediate sync. Okay, means whatever the changes are made in primary server, primary database, they are not synced with the secondary immediately. By default, remember it takes 30 minutes time. Okay, once the changes are made here in primary, so immediately they are not synced with secondary. Default time is what? 30 minutes time. Okay, we can configure also, we can reduce also in general. In the same way, for example, here like now here local time is 6:47. For example, if any changes are made, those changes are applied up to 7:17. For example, 7:20. Yeah, okay, 7:20. Okay, after 30 minutes in general. Okay, right. So in the same way, remember, like no automatic failure means what? Tomorrow, if the primary goes down unexpectedly due to any reason, automatically secondary will not become primary. Immediately, we have to start working as a DBA. Okay, manually remember, as a DBA, we have to start working with. Okay, that is C means what? Automatic failure means what? Whenever primary goes down, secondary will become primary. But here in log shipping, remember, as a DBA, we have to start working with, we have to bring the secondary database online manually. Okay, in the same way, that's when, but to overcome these major limitations, Microsoft has introduced DB mirroring in 2005 version. Okay, so in case of DB mirroring, remember, immediate sync is there. Means whatever the changes are made in principal database or primary database, those are synced immediately with mirror. Immediate. Okay, within seconds, remember, changes are applied to mirror server, mirror database. Okay, immediate sync is there, as well as we have automatic failover. Means what? Tomorrow, if principal is down or primary server is down due to any reason, immediately secondary becomes primary. Okay, immediately mirror becomes principal automatically, so that users can continue their work. Okay, yes, so that is like immediate sync is there here, as well as automatic failure is there, but mirroring is again one-to-one feature. Means one primary can have maximum how many secondaries? Only one. So as well as some other limitations are there, we'll discuss later practically. So that's why to overcome those, now we have always on. Okay, always on. So always on is basically, remember, it is a DB mirroring with extra features. Okay, DB mirroring with additional features is always on. Okay, it is what enhanced version of mirroring. Check here in always on, it is one-to-many feature. One primary can have what? Multiple secondaries. Basically, remember, like terminologies are different. Terminology is different here. In log shipping, we are calling it as primary server, primary, secondary, or standby. Whereas in mirroring, we are calling it as same servers only. Terminology is different. Principal mirror. Okay. So in always on, we are calling here as primary replica. Okay. Secondary replicas. Like this here. Terminology is different. Same server only. Primary replica is our production server. Here principal means production server, primary server means production server. Okay, just for differentiating, we have different terminologies. Okay, right. One question is there, is standby can be a different physical server or it can be virtual also? Yes, anything, Sridhar. It may be different physical server or virtual server. Okay, but today mostly in 90% scenarios, we are going with virtual servers in general. Okay, in the data center, it may be physical server or it may be virtual server. Yes. Please feel free to type in the chat panel if any simple doubts are there. Okay. Yeah. Srikant, Rafi, Sai, any doubts are there? Sridhar. If any doubts are there, please feel free to type in the chat panel. Okay. Karthik, Irfan, Neha, any questions are there? Yeah. Please feel free to type if any simple doubts are there, any queries are there. Okay. Right. Okay. Then one-to-many means one primary server can have multiple secondaries. Okay, means in primary server, one database is the same database copy we can maintain in multiple secondaries also. Even one secondary has some issue, no problem. We can make the another secondary online in the event of primary goes down. Okay. Right. But we have some other concepts are there. Replication is it, okay, as well as clustering is it. Already we know cluster is nothing but a group of servers. These three features are there to maintain as it is copy of database. Cluster is there to maintain as it is copy of the server, entire server. Okay. Right. These are some basic things. Just we have seen what is what. Yeah. So these basic things we have seen till now. Actually, this soft copy material is there. Already have discussed. Like I will share you once you register. Yeah, our team will share you. Okay, each module wise material is there. Okay, like yeah. So for example, module 1. Like this here, module wise. So same thing what we are discussing here, like same is there in the form of what separate PDF file. So I will share you this one. Okay, module wise material. Right. So these are already we have discussed overall concepts what we are going to discuss as part of this course. Main concepts. Okay, installations and configurations. We'll see database architecture. Okay. What are the common issues are there, like log file full, data file full. Okay. So yeah, page corruption, something we'll see here. Then security, we'll discuss security, means how we can configure security, means how we can create the logins, how we can grant the permissions, everything. Then we'll see backups and restores. Okay, already we know everything will automate actually. So for automation, remember we are using jobs and maintenance plans. We'll discuss that. High availability features. Just now we have seen log shipping, mirroring, always on. We'll see practically. So performance tuning we'll see. Okay. So how to tune the performance of the queries. So clustering we'll see practically. Monitoring and troubleshooting means in every concept we'll see how to monitor log shipping, how to monitor always on, how to troubleshoot. Okay, migrations and upgradations. As well as we have seen one more concept is the replication. Okay, so these are the main concepts are there here as part of our course. Okay, already course content is there with you, I think. So you can go through the detailed concepts. Okay, if any queries are there, any doubts are there, right? So already we know our regular responsibilities already have discussed actually. So monitoring and troubleshooting, we are responsible for here. There should be no downtime. Okay, always our database and database server should be always running. The same way, no security related issues. Okay, we have to take care. No data loss. Already we have seen to avoid the data loss scenario. We are going with what? High backups. We'll use what? Backups actually. So in the same way, like to avoid the downtime, we are going with high availability features we have seen, right? Log shipping, mirroring, always on. The same way, no performance issues, no connectivity issues. Okay, installing and configuring SQL Server. So here, installing and configuring is not our regular job, but whenever we are going to build one new server, we are going to install and configure. Okay, so in the same way, patching SQL Server. Patching is nothing but remember updating SQL Server. But see, this patching is one of a regular job. Okay, monthly patches are there. For every 2 months, patches are there. Patches are nothing but what? Updates. Okay, we'll see monitoring error logs. In general, remember anything happen in SQL Server will write the errors into a error log. Okay, that's why tomorrow log shipping fail, mirroring fail. First step is what? Checking the error log. Okay, after checking the error log, we'll come to know what happened exactly. Depends on that, we can plan for troubleshooting. Then we have to see all the scheduled activities are working fine or not. Okay, right. Okay, these are your major responsibilities in general. Okay, one question is there like, is there any book? Okay, I will try to share you PDF soft copy book actually along with my material. Okay, how to check which feature are newly added in each version. Already I have written in the soft copy material. You can see the Microsoft website also we can check. Okay, Karthik. Yes. Okay. If any questions are there, please type in the chat panel. We'll conclude the session here. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Right.